the mix-up game, it's going to be very potent on both ends, but it has to come from who takes the initiative first and who can maintain that onslaught for longer.
Absolutely. Let's see how it already starts out here. Already setting up multiple water balloons to try to get some nice critical onto HackFraudWizard, which seems to be slowing them down, especially because we're getting our shots in, tapped us, and already carrying with that Deus Ex Machina.
And movement is a huge part of what's going to be really important for HackFraudWizard on here in the win side, especially because though the movement has definitely been improved, right? There was the initial issue that Baiken had, which was the dash startup. The acceleration was very, very weak when she first came out, and then eventually when Season 4 eventually released, we saw a lot of bonuses when it came to her movement. Still on the slower side of things, but this does help her so much. We're going to see how much that plays into factor because Kami is on a roll once again. Not going to build 50 meter, but it's still going to be with positive bonus coming in soon.
Absolutely. It's a little shred they got to get left, but caught on the backdash with the gun super. Doesn't even matter though. Just get 2K2D'd. Going to be giving Kami99 that first round, and already starting off with a nice poke and baiting the burst too. Oh, we are in HackFraudWizard's head.
Yep, I mean, Kami has been doing this all bracket long. Burst, YRC, reversals, it doesn't matter. That man has been on a mission to make sure that any and all defensive facilities are never, ever valid for you or viable in any circumstance, as we're going to be able to go from one side of the screen to the next. Rolling on through the poke, and that was a brave attempt from Kami, but that just lets you know the level of ingenuity behind these toolkits. Some players utilize these kits as if they're in a reversal of some kind, but it was a great call out from Kami as we take the first game.
Great stuff there coming out from Kami, and already backing up like they did in the first round, doing that wild assault once again, this time getting a good opening and still spacing HackFraudWizard out, trying to jump in, but he's still got somebody who's got bullets left in the arsenal.
HackFraudWizard bleeding on the stand. We are pushing into Guts territory. The Baiken does have that Japanese Guts. 4 Guts is nothing to play with. However, you've got to remember Kami has the very egregious lead, but that is being mitigated as we speak with the mix-up already coming on forward. YRC's out. Both players working with very little resources. Blocks the overhead off the BRC. Big call out from HackFraudWizard, leveling things out. And not only that, but has the burst advantage moving into this next round.
She was able to keep alive HackFraudWizard. He was able to do it mainly because they were able to get that throw off in that stage switch, but now Kami is already setting up in the corner. HackFraudWizard though, he's getting out, trying to cross up, but the YRC comes out from Kami as they're both in a little bit of a standstill. Never mind.
First to try and release themselves from the tether. Kami working with a bit of a deficit. 50 meter is almost approaching the side of HackFraud. I'm not entirely sure what led to that blowback increasing, but there is 50 meter available for HackFraud, trying to build up as much tension as possible, but now it's both sides of 50 meter extending off of the sweep. We might just see a dead woman walking. It is immediately going to go to the final round of game number 2. HackFraud with a very huge burst lead, and Kami not really too bothered, just going to take the very passive approach.
So you see the burst coming out. HackFraudWizard just chasing Kami down, not caring if they're going to try to zone out, getting that cross up too, and going to be able to get the throw and continue this pressure. But the YRC comes out from Kami. They might have thought that HackFraudWizard was going to go in, but that didn't happen. And now you're gone.
That was 2 big approaches from HackFraud. We don't have a replay of it, but just incentive from the super jump forward or the jump after the dash, all that momentum, getting that fadeaway JS, and then backdashing post YRC with the tether still applied. HackFraud leveling things out and returns the receipt with interest, getting that burst bait of his own off against Kami from previously.
We're still getting that mat pressure on lock. The YRC though coming out from Kami, giving a little bit of breathing room, tapped us too, and so many shots happening through a lot of these normals. It's just good on me. Now we're stacking damage and stacking that wall break, and now getting out of the way. They knew the tether was going to come out, so Kami able to keep themselves alive there too.
Super focused, but you're not going to be able to hang on to that. Try to use the Escabari to maintain the distance between the both players. However, Kami utilizing all those resources to maintain the ability to just kill off and play it in a way where HackFraud just isn't a non-factor. But the approach forward, a lot of initiative, a lot of courage. Waiting out the approach. Nope. Burst is now off the table. This is a good opportunity for HackFraud to extend, but Kami just won't allow it.
Nice, could be able to cross up a little bit there, take you to the wall, gonna be breaking it. HackFraudWizard, what is our answer going to be, especially as Kami's backing up, and you know they like to play with that space.
Immediately gonna go for that Yozan Sand, not gonna spend any resources here, just wanna build as little resources as possible. Oh, doesn't get the full confirm. YRC gonna let him fight out of the corner. Just all it takes is one hit. Spending all that resource to try and level it out. Is this gonna be enough to kill? Not just yet. And you might pay for your greed as Kami. A little bit of a slip up. I'm not entirely sure this was intentional, but the reset just wasn't the option to go for as things are level once again.
I'm surprised they didn't try to go for the wall right there, but either way, already spending the burst. HackFraudWizard is actually going to be just running in, sending up the rope, and going to be able to get a nice counter hit in to start their combo, making Kami regret what they did last round, especially because we're up to the wall and we are going to be hitting through it.
And with positive bonus just around the corner, you've got to be ready. HackFraud, though, trying their luck, maybe testing the waters with that Escabari. Life deficit is decreasing as we go along. BRC immediately tries to use that Yozansen post-BRC situation. Blocks the overhead, utilizing that guard cancel parry. Both players are just throwing out resources at every given turn. Blocks the tap dust. Low health situation, but the 2K2D. Almost enough to kill. Both players are there, and it's Kami who's able to pull the trigger fast enough to take that game 3. Very, very tense stuff. But Kami up in the lead. Both players are feeling the pressure now.
Oh my goodness, you saw how intense it was to the point where Kami was just mainly relying on rolls and running back, or at least getting some throws, as you saw in those last few instances, and now really trying to keep HackFraudWizard away with some shots. We're trying to send in some water balloons, what have you, as there we go, to be able to get our focus better up on our gun, get the 2K2D through, try to cross up, but we get anti-air.
Yeah, this time you've blocked so many overheads, but you haven't received the low treatment. The low overhead, if you will. That is a very damning lead. Kami already making good work of everything that's happening. Gonna double dip into the well. And we're gonna get that Deus Ex Machina. Let bullets fly, let it rain. We spend 50 cents to let many men know that this is the way of the game.
Absolutely, and now, nice being able to catch that run and break check HackFraudWizard, but they're still running in, gonna be able to anti-air them, got them on the wall right now, gonna be breaking into already HackFraudWizard losing so much health, as this is their last round chance if they want to stay alive in the winner's side of the bracket.
Utilizing all those resources to try and maintain that focus meter as well as the curse applied. Baiting out a possible YRC approach. You can see Kami is just so insistent on making sure that HackFraudWizard's gameplay just isn't suitable at any given point. Max range, we're gonna let the gun fly, rolls right on through the overdrive, and now we're back to square one for HackFraud. This is looking very dire. Just waiting patiently, and eventually patience is just a very important gameplay feature, and there's only so much patience you can have. It's